play right, cause they can't miss. All about the game, that's a cold switch. Serving up the truth, call it ruthless. Tune in and get your fix from Blake and Vish Sports.
And then another rookie that we want to talk about is someone who Vish and I were a little down on. We thought he was maybe a little overhyped, not a generational prospect as a lot of people said he was. Taken fifth to the Bengals. We also criticized that move a little bit. I thought it should have been Penei Sewell. You kind of thought the same.
Yeah.
But Vish, what are your overall thoughts on Chase so far, and why were we wrong? It shouldn't say Vish. Yes, it should say Blake and Vish. We're wrong about Ja'Marr Chase thus far.
Yeah, we were just flat out wrong about him. I thought the issues, him separating, sometimes issues at the line of scrimmage, and just the fact that I felt like his play style wasn't translatable given the kind of athlete he was and the kind of body frame he had. I mean, a lot of the pro comps for him were guys like Des Bryant, but I didn't feel that he had the same physical attributes as them, especially when it came to arm length and all of that, where he could catch a lot of contested passes in tight windows. And then I felt like the Bengals needed to get an offensive tackle in Sewell to protect Burrow better. I felt like Chase was 100% a top 20 pick, a really good receiver prospect, but I didn't think he was in the Sammy Watkins, AJ Green, Julio Jones tier. Through whatever 4 weeks, it looks like I was wrong on all fronts. Ja'Marr Chase does win. Ja'Marr Chase does create separation. Ja'Marr Chase does win with pure speed on the outside. Ja'Marr Chase is able to use his body. I mean, we knew his play strength was unbelievable. His play strength is unbelievable in the NFL, too. NFL corners can't handle his body, especially at the catch point. He has great, strong hands. We were not worried. The one thing we did get right with Ja'Marr Chase is don't freak out about his preseason drops. And that at least turned out to be true. So, we're batting, 1 for 12 on our Ja'Marr Chase takes. But Ja'Marr Chase looks unbelievable. Him and Joe Burrow's chemistry is really, it's special. They have kind of honestly, when I watch it, I don't want to go that far, but I do feel like it's a little bit Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson-esque, where when Burrow throws that ball, it feels like Chase is always going to go get it because it feels like they're just on a different wave. I mean, we talked about it when we were talking about Burrow a couple weeks ago. His arm looks stronger. And it looks like he's throwing the ball, especially the deep ball, he's throwing it easier. I've seen him throw deep balls off 3 steps on half a hitch and stuff, which is not what Burrow was doing last year. His arm strength looked questionable, honestly, to me last year. It was a bottom 5 arm in the NFL last year, if we're being honest. And in spite that, he had a really good rookie season. This year, we're seeing that his arm looks stronger. And as he gains confidence in that knee, and he looked really, really good on Thursday, and we're seeing him get more confident week by week. We're seeing that Burrow looks terrific, and then he's got a guy in Ja'Marr Chase on the outside who just wins. Like, teams are going to have to start double covering him and all that. I thought T. Higgins was going to be the number 1 receiver on this team by the end of the season. I was wrong. I'm 1 for 13 on Ja'Marr Chase takes. Ja'Marr Chase is the number 1 receiver on this team. He's a baller. He's dominating in the NFL in ways that he really did dominate in college. He's really unstoppable. And we're seeing that. And the Bengals were 100% right so far to take him over Sewell because they haven't had the protection issues that I've expected. They've run the ball a lot better than what we expected. Joe Mixon's finally getting utilized the way Joe Mixon should. But obviously, he got hurt, but he's a special running back. And we're seeing that the Bengals offense, as Burrow gains confidence, is going to get better and better and better.
Definitely. And just to preface it, we didn't think he was going to be good. We didn't think he was a complete bust. We just had him a little lower than maybe consensus or what most people thought. So I guess that would qualify us as disliking him by some people's accounts. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't think it is, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, he has been fantastic. And I think the main thing that for me has been the truth is, you mentioned it, their chemistry is real. It is incredible. Should we have expected that? We probably should have from LSU. I mean, they were great there. You could tell they had great connection. Just Burrow being out of the pocket is just dangerous because him and Chase somehow always make a connection when that is the case. But I think another reason why we are wrong is because we were wrong about this Bengals O-line. We kind of said, you don't want to have Riley Reef as your guy that you're just you're putting your chips in the middle with him as your tackle. We didn't think Jonah Williams was maybe going to be able to come back after a couple years of injury and be a really solid left tackle. We were wrong on those accounts. Riley Reif and Jonah Williams have been amazing. The Bengals center has been a weak spot. I want to say his name's Hopkins, but I don't think you should quote me on that. But I know their interior line is still maybe not as strong, but the Riley Reif and Williams have been great. And although Sewell would be a really, really good addition to any team because he's also looked fantastic.
It's Trey Hopkins. It is Trey Hopkins. You're absolutely right, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like as great as Sewell would make this O-line, or better he'd make this O-line, you can't really argue when what they have out there has been producing at the tackle position. So on that account, like they were completely right in taking Chase, which we thought was a little rich. Where they took him and then taking him over Sewell, we thought would have been an issue. But I mean, overall, that has been a great pick for them. And I think their receiving core is just low-key one of the best in the league. You mentioned Chase. We already mentioned T. Higgins. You thought he could have been the number one potentially after a strong rookie year, and then this year he's looked better, especially in the offseason. Boyd is a really great slot receiver. I think he's so underappreciated. I know he doesn't, put up – he's not the most athletic guy. He's not the, ooh-ah guy, but I really think he's such an underrated slot guy for them. And as a number 3 receiver, he might be one of the best number 3 receivers in the entire league. I'd put him up there. But you could throw any.
No, yeah,
he's Buccaneers.
You're right. You're right. He's an elite slot receiver. He's tough. He gets open. He's great in traffic. He's good after the catch. He brings everything you want. Outside of Keenan Allen, I don't know if there's a better guy in the slot, honestly. I'd have to go back and look than Tyler Boyd. But yeah, Jamar Chase, unbelievable. And you touched on it, right? We thought he was a really good player. Nobody with eyes wouldn't tell you Jamar Chase was a really good player. But we thought taking him in the top 10 was a little bit rich. And I think where he's proven us wrong is it's not just he's proven us right by being a really good player. He's gone above and beyond and through 4 games looked like a generational receiver. He already looks like a top 30 receiver in football, honestly, maybe even higher. It's
probably higher,
looking almost as impressive as Justin Jefferson last year. And Justin Jefferson did it in a different way, but it's a little bit where you just line them up outside and their plays where they call like 989 doubles and stuff like that, which is just shot plays like Bruce Arians classics where you're just looking to take shots. And you got 2 goes on the outside, and it doesn't matter what the coverage is. If it's quarters coverage, if it's cover 3, if you're getting man-to-man. Jamar Chase, if it's based because quarters and cover 3 turn into man-to-man on the outside, Jamar Chase just wins on the outside, which is really, really impressive because he just wins by himself with just speed and physicality. And he goes and tracks the ball and makes unbelievable catches at the catch point too. He is really, really, really good. And I think the route running aspect of it, it wasn't that I thought he was a bad route runner. I just felt like, he wasn't as shifty and as refined. It was a little bit rough around the edges, but I was wrong about that too. He's more refined than I gave him credit for. He's a beast and he's balling out right now. And I'm excited to see how his rookie season ends up because he's off to a real fast start.
Oh, definitely. And I think we mentioned this or we've talked about it off air, but we've been meaning to do – last year we did a ranking of the rookie wide receivers, and it got a lot of traction. People were disagreeing with me about my assessment of Brandon Ayuk, which it's coming back around and looking good in my favor. But basically what the point of this is we want to do this again. We want to rank, Chase, Waddle, and Smith, but Bateman maybe in there and some of the other guys. But the other guys either just are on terrible situations, like the Dolphins and Eagles just don't have really great quarterbacks throwing to them like Burrow or
though Hurts has been looking better to his credit.
He has been. You're right. But still, I think it's tough to do it yet so early in the season. And then Kadarius Toney and Bateman have been injured. Elijah Moore hasn't been out there as much as we would have hoped. So all of that. But we will at some point rank these guys, and I would be surprised if we didn't have Chase at number 1 at this point because he is just a hair.
Yeah, Devonta Smith has looked good. There's no doubt about it, especially when you go back and watch all his routes on the All-22. Like, Devonta Smith definitely has looked good. But to me, at this point, I thought Smith was the best receiver in the draft last year. I thought it was Smith, then Waddle, then Chase. through 4 games so far, it's just 4 games. It looks like Chase, then Smith, then everybody else. And there's a considerable gap between Chase and Smith. And it's not that Smith has looked bad. He's looked really good. It's just that man, Jamar Chase, is a bad man.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, that's why we were wrong on Bengals, Jamar Chase. Bengals fans, we are sorry. We apologize. Please forgive us. He's been